Hey folks, it's Wednesday morning. Wednesday's always my struggle day, right? It's a hump day. But we're going to get through it together. In fact, we're going to thrive in it. This Power Minute is called Through the Night. These Power Minutes are devotionals that I've written. They're reflections on verses. There's a book of old episodes, and there hopefully will be more to come. But you can also get them in writing for free by subscribing to them at livingwithpower.org/Power Minutes. Living with Power is the ministry that I started and run. So hopefully you're familiar with it. If not, check it out. Today's Power Minute, Through the Night, our verse is Exodus 12:42. It was a night of watching by the Lord to bring them out of the land of Egypt. The exodus of the people of Israel from Egypt is one of the most magnificent stories in the whole Bible. It seemed impossible that the people of Israel would ever be able to stand against Pharaoh and actually leave Egypt. To think that mere slaves would find the courage to defy the most powerful ruler in the world is astounding. Even more amazing is that the people of Israel didn't have to do a lot to get out of Egypt. All they needed for their freedom was the living God who would fight for them. The night of their exodus, the people of Israel finished offering God their Passover lambs, then packed their bags and left. In Exodus 12:42, we're given insight into how they did it. It was a night of watching by the Lord. It was God who had his eye on Pharaoh on the night of the exodus of his people. It was God who led the way in the wilderness and brought his people to the promised land. This same God who watched over his people in Egypt is the one who is watching over you through the night season today. Are you stuck in Egypt? Are you stuck in a place of slavery to anything, to bondage? You know, I've written a Bible study. I've got a couple of Bible studies coming out, but one of them, I just finished editing the chapter on this. I'm teaching on the Exodus. It's called A Table in the Wilderness. It'll come out in a couple of years. The first one coming out is Through the Desert. But I love that story. It's a critical story. It hinges the entire Old Testament on this story. And then the New Testament, of course, the table of communion, which is when Jesus becomes the lamb shed for salvation. But regardless of that, just remember that we serve a God who has his eye on his people. He's got his eye on our enemy, but he's got his eye on us. So you don't need to worry. You don't need to be afraid. You can rest in him today, all right? Whatever it is you're facing, there's no problem too big for God to handle. So let's leave our bags at his feet and trust him to get us to the other side. I'm going to do that today. That's my plan. I hope you do too. Love you guys. See you again tomorrow. Check out livingwithpower.org for more resources.